Okay, question 6 here. A cup of tea costs 10 cents less than a cup of coffee. So tea, 10 cents less than a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee costs X cents, and this one minus 10 from the X, so 10 cents less. And then the hot chocolate costs 20 cents more, as obvious here. It's already written, than a cup of coffee. 3 cups of coffee. Okay, focus on this. So 3 cups of coffee, 3 out of these. 5 cups of tea, 5 out of these. And 2 cups of hot chocolate cost 8.9 or $8.90. Form an equation. So to write an equation with this one, let's do it here. As they said, they need what? They need what is that? 3 cups of coffee. So 3 out of these. And 5 tea. So 5 out of these. And 2 cups of hot chocolate. So 2 cups of hot chocolate like this. And when you add them together, you get 8.90 or 890. So here, I'm going to form an equation with these. Like here, I'll put it here. As the question says, 5 cups of this tea, 3 cups of coffee, and 2 cups of hot chocolate. They need me to form an equation. So I'm going to write an equation like here. So 5 multiplied by x minus 10, and then plus 3x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 20. Okay, and the total will be 100, or sorry, 890, like this. Okay, and this is the equation that they need. And then when you solve the equation, you'll find the value of x. You'll have the same steps, same ideas. Okay, let me see this. Okay, I'll come to you. So B, solve your equation. Wait for the recording. So after forming the equation like this, we're going to solve the equation to find the price of a cup of coffee. This is the cup of coffee. Okay. So we're going to find the value of x because x is the cup of coffee. You solve it by expanding here. You expand this, and then you expand this, and then you take all the numbers to the side, and you solve the x's together, and you find the value of x, and you end up with the answer for this question. Okay, we don't have to do it because it has the same steps that we did before. You can solve it and show it to me, and I'll check if it's correct or not. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. My concern is how to write equations. That's the main important thing here for me, is how to write equations in this lesson. Okay, the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 222. Find the numbers. So they are even and consecutive. So I'm going to cover this. Same idea. We're not going to answer. We're just going to write the equation. We said they're even, so they start with x. So the second one will be what? We're going to add an even number. So it's going to be x plus 2. And then the third one will be x plus 4. So because they're even, we're adding 2 each time. Okay. And then the word sum, كلمة sum معناها مجموعا. It means we're going to add them together. So we're going to add these in an equation, and we're going to make it equal to 222. If you want to add them fast, you can say 3x plus 6, like this. So you'll say 3x plus 6. 3x plus 6 equals 222. And then you start solving the equation, and you'll find the value of x. So what do? You take this to the other side by, you make it -6. So it's going to be -6. And then remove it from this side. So you end up with 3x here equals 222 minus 6 will be, yes, 222 minus 6, 216. Yes, 216.
And divided by 3.
And then divide by 3. Yes, you take 3 by dividing here. So it's going to be divided by 3.
I got 72, so I add 72, 2, and then it's going to be 74, and then it's going to be 76.
That's it. Yeah, so 72, x is 72. So the first number is 72. And then next we have what? 74, 76.
And then 76.
Yes, that's the idea. So 72 The numbers are 72, 74, and 76. And this is the idea of this question, okay? Now, let's move on to the next one. Just have to follow the rules of writing equations. That's the idea. Question 2. John and Jamila have a baby daughter. Sonia, John, her name is Sonia. Okay, let me cover this first before we start, because we need the space to work. So John is 23 kilograms, heavier than Amelia. So we have John, Amelia, and the baby daughter, Sonia. So let's write them by their initials. So the letters J, A, and S, okay? A and S. So we have three people. John is 23 kilograms heavier than Amelia. It means what? It means that J equals Amelia plus 23. That's the idea. So you have to understand how to make them as equations. So John equals Amelia plus 23. That's the first information we know. Who is 4 times as heavy as Sonia? Who is 4 times as heavy as Sonia? They're talking about Amelia, right? I think they're talking about Amelia. Who is 4 times as heavy as Sonia? So Amelia equals 4 times as heavy. It means 4 times S. So 4S. So here we understand that John is 23 plus Amelia. Amelia is 4S. It means that Amelia is 4 times as heavy as Sonia. Now, the last thing, their combined weight is 122. It means when you add the three of them, J plus A plus S equals 122 kilograms. How heavy is each person? Now you're going to use this information to find the weight of each one of them. Find the weight of each
Mister,
one of them. Yes.
this was the same question in the IG last year, right? For
Yes.
with the golf balls.
Yes. The golf
So
balls. Yes. Same question. Same idea. Yeah. So the main idea is to make the equation with one variable only. It means here, if you have three variables, you can't answer it. You need one variable in one equation to answer it. So you're going to use these to remove the variables and make them the same. Now, here we have A, here we have A. It means, and here we have A. It means we're going to make all of them A, for example, because here we don't have S, so we can't make it all S, okay? So we can make all of them A. How do we do this? We know that J here equals A plus 23. So we can remove this J and put what? We put A plus 23 like this instead of the J because it's equal to J. This is the first step. So we're going to put it here. So A plus 23 plus this A. I'll write it here. And then the S here, we're going to use this one to find the S.
4S.
A equals 4S, but I need S. So I'm going to take the 4 to the other side, right? Like this. And it's multiplied. So it's going to be A over 4, right? A over
So
4.
we put that instead of S.
Yes, instead of S. So it's going to be A over 4 because S here equals A over 4. So S.
But that's you're saying that that's Sonia. Sonia equals A divided by 4, not Amelia.
Yes. A divide 4. Like this.
So why are you putting it? If you're putting,
I want to
aren't you
remove
doing all
this.
Amelia?
I want to remove it and put A instead of it. Something with A. I want to make them all A.
So you can get the variables. Okay.
Well, I want to make the variables the same so I can work them out. So this one is A divide 4, right? So I can make it 1 over 4A. I can make it 1 over 4A. So here I'm going to continue with these. So plus 1 over 4A, like this. Or 1/4 or 0.25 plus, sorry, plus, let's do it 0.25. Maybe easier, like this. A, okay? Now, let's focus on this, okay? And then at the end equals 122, equals 122. Now we can solve. First, we look at the like terms. We have like terms, which is A and A and 0.25A. When we add them together, they're going to be what? They're going to be 2.25A.
Isn't it 3.25A? Like A,
One.
0.25.
This is
Oh,
0.25A. So this is less than 1.
yeah.
And these are 2.
Okay.
So they're going to be 2.25. Okay. And then we're going to take the 23 to the other side because it's a number. So we're going to take it to the number side like this. And it's going to be minus 23. Minus 23. Okay. Here, minus 23. 122 minus 23. So 122
99.
equals 99. Good. So here equals 99. What's next? I'm going to
Take the
take
2.25 to the other
good
side.
2.25 to the other side by dividing.
Division.
Because, yes, division, because it's multiplied. I'm going to take it by division. So 2.25 here. And I'll remove it from this side. And I'll end up with A. So A equals 99 divide 2.25. Divide 2.25. And the answer will be 44. So A equals 44. Who's A? It's Amelia.
Amila.
Amelia, yes, good. So Amelia is 44. I can write 44 here. Now I can find the rest because I know that John is A plus 23. So 44, which is Amelia plus 23. So I'm going to add 44 plus 23 is going to be 67. So John is 67. J equals 67. And then the last one, which is what? It's Sonia. Here, from here, I know that Sonia is A divide 4. So I can divide A by 4. 44 divide 4 is going to be 11. So Sonia here equals 44 divide 4. So S equals 11. And this is the idea of this question. So first, we formed an equation. And then we solved the equation by putting one variable only in the equation. And then we found the values of each one of them or the weights of each one of them. That's the idea of the question, okay? I hope you understood it. I don't know if you did. Let's move on to the next one here. Number three. Number three, a father is 3 times, same idea. It has the same steps, forming equations. These questions need a lot of focusing, so you have to focus once you answer them. And you have to follow steps. A father is 3 times as old as his son. So we understand that there's a father and a son. The first step you have to do is put letters instead of words so you can use them, okay? So a father is 3 times as old as his son. It means that F equals what? 3 times as the son. So 3S. In 14 years' time, after, it means after 14 years. That's the idea of 14 years' time. After 14 years, he will be twice as old as his son. So after 14 years, it means what? It means F plus 14, right? Because it's after 14 years. Equals what? He will be what? Twice as old as his son. Twice as old as his son. It means he will be twice, it means 2 times, as old as his son. It means we're gonna like this as S, 1S, or S plus 14. Because this one is after 14 years. As old as the son, how old is the father? So here, that's a little bit confusing. So let me do it that way and check. Okay, wait. So as we said, this is the father, this is the son. After so the father is 3 times as old as the son, 3 مرات the son. And then after 14 years, it means both of them will add 14 to his age. It means the father plus 14 equals what? The father, he will be twice as old as the son. He will be 2 multiplied by the age of the son, which is S plus 14. حتى هو. لأن both of them gained 14 years, تمام. And then we start solving this. We're going to remove the f, which is this one, and we're going to put 3s because f equals 3s. It means I'm going to put this instead of it so I can solve the equation. هتجد عندي هنا 3s, sorry, 3s plus 14 equals 2, and here I'm going to do expanding at the same time so we don't waste time. And I do expanding here and here. So 2 times s is going to be 2s, and then 2 times 14 is going to be 28. Then I'm going to work on like terms. Like terms, هناخد 14 to the other side. It's going to be minus 14 here. Here, I'm going to write it minus 14. And I'm going to take the 2s to the other side, like this. And it's going to be minus 2s. Minus 2s. تمام. And then 3s minus 2s هيطلع معايا s. So this one is s. And then 28 minus 14 equals 14. So after I took these, معناها حولنا دينا. Removed. So 2s, I'm sorry, equals 14. S is the age of the sun. Age of the sun. Okay. Now, as we said, this is the age of the sun. And you know that the father is 3 times as the sun. The father is 3 times as the sun. It means 3 times 14. So father equals 3 times 14. So the father equals 42 years old. And this is the age of the father now. And this is our answer question like this. So we have to focus on the steps of putting the equations and solving them. Now let's move on to the next question. Here. هذا 3. Now, 4, 5, and 6, you don't have to study these because they are a little bit complicated and they don't bring them. Most of the time, they don't bring questions like these. If they bring these as riddles, and even these, the ones with consecutive numbers. But these ones, you don't have to study them because they're a little bit crazy. يعني. The revision, طبعا, this is revising the whole unit or lesson. تمام. From the revision, I want to focus on these اللي find 3 consecutive numbers. Sum is 438. Same idea, قلنا 3 consecutive numbers معناها x والآخر x plus 1 والآخر x plus 2. We add them together, we get 438. We write it as an equation and then we solve it. تمام. And the perimeter of a rectangle is 54 centimeters. One side is x long and the other is 6 centimeters long. Okay. Form an equation involving x. And I get it. Perimeter هيكون 54. Perimeter, it means all of them together is 54. معنى لما ندير equation أنا, I'm gonna do it like this. Let me cover this. To be honest, I focus on these because they are important even in the foundation level. You have to understand how to make equations by yourself. هذه إذا كانت هذه x معناها حتى هذه x. تمام؟ وهذه x plus 6. x plus 6. Now, first thing we're gonna do is what? Gonna form an equation involving x with the perimeter. Perimeter معناها all of these together. So when I form an equation, I'm gonna add the x's. هتكون 1 2 3 4 معناها 4x لأن هنا 4 وحدات. تمام. وبعدين 6 plus 6 is 12 يعني plus 12 equals what? Equals 54. هذا بالنسبة للperimeter. And then when you take this to the other side, you don't have to solve it. This is the equation. This is the first step. You put the equation like this. هذه بالنسبة شنو؟ بالنسبة ل A. تمام. You don't have to solve it. Just form an equation. And then solving it and write down the length of each of the sides. This one is solving. So we're gonna solve this. تمام. To solve it, هناخده شنو؟ هناخده 12 to the other side. And it's gonna be minus 12 here. Then here plus 12, هتجد minus 12. Minus 12. And then we remove it from here. So for x equals x equals 54 minus 12. 54 minus 12 is going to be 42. 42, تمام? And then we divide by 4, or we take 4 by division here. Same idea, same steps. They have the same steps, just follow the same rules and you understand the idea. So we divide by 4. So for x equals okay, 42 divide 4, and the answer will be yes. Let's do it. It has decimals, I think. Yes, 10.5. So this is the first thing that x equals 10.5 in centimeters, of course, and هو قال لي centimeters. And then this is the idea, and then we're gonna find the length of each side. إذا كان هذه x معناها هذه 10.5 same idea. هذه 10.5 حتى هي. For these I'm gonna do 10.5 plus 6. 10.5 plus 6 فحتجد 16.5 هنا وهنا 16.5. Okay, that's the idea of this question. First thing we found, or we wrote an equation, and then we solved the equation to the value of
Do we
x.
solve them?
Hmm? Yes, Anna?
Do we add them together now or you want?
No, when you add them, you get 54. That's the question. Just find the sides. ذكك بين جنبن that's the answer.
Oh yeah.
Because they want you to find
Yeah.
each side alone, yeah? That's it, okay? So focus on this. You write an equation, and then you solve it to find x, and then you take x and substitute it here to find all the sides. Now, let's move on.